Good morning, girls and boys. It's around 8:30 here in London, and it's about 4:30 in China, in Beijing and in Shanghai. And as most of you will know, today is the Chinese New Year, and it's by far and away the most important cultural and historical celebration in China. Uh, it's a festival, and it is the formal beginning of the new lunar uh, New Year. And rather like Christmas or Thanksgiving in America, it's a time when families unite and spend time together. And to some considerable extent, that is happening in China because the pandemic is very much under control. And indeed, my Chinese friends in Shanghai tell me that life is more or less back to normal. And that's very encouraging for us on this side of the world. The Chinese New Year is one of those movable feasts in that, like our Easter, the actual date changes depending on the celestial movements of the moon in particular. It falls on the second moon after the December solstice, i.e., the shortest day of the year. But the Chinese New Year, it's normally between late January and late February. So what we can do, if you want to celebrate the New Year, the Chinese New Year, over half term, is to do some internal thinking, some spring cleaning, perhaps go through some old cupboards, throw out or recycle some old papers, give away some books and other unwanted items. It could even be a time to rethink your wardrobe and think about what you'd like to wear as spring approaches. And it's also a time, because we're coming up to half term, to revisit your goals and aims for the year ahead. And remember, always put this in writing. If you can't write down your goals for the year ahead, then in my view, you don't really know what they are. But look, it's a great shame that we're not in school because, as you know, we would normally have wonderful dragon dancers and the drums and so on. But we'll be back next year, I'm sure, bringing alive these wonderful traditional ceremonies. These ceremonies which bring good luck and indeed drive away evil spirits and so on. So, nevertheless, we can still take stock. Um, we are now, in terms of the academic school year, exactly halfway through the year. We've completed 3 of the 6 half terms. And girls and boys, we are, in terms of COVID and the pandemic, truly we are through the worst of it, in the sense that the dark days of winter are over, and indeed every day now gets longer and longer, and of course it's lighter for longer. And spring is on its way. Already you may have daffodils in your garden pushing their way up through the morning frost. And of course the government has done a marvellous job of getting so many people vaccinated so quickly. So to paraphrase Winston Churchill, this is not the end, it's not even the beginning of the end, but it is perhaps the end of the beginning. And truly we can and must now look forwards with optimism to new beginnings. The one thing I will say over the last year is how gentle everyone has been. There have been times which have been very, very hard for everyone, for you, for your parents, for your teachers. But throughout this, I've been so touched by the gentleness and the kindness that the community has exhibited. But I'm hopeful now that it won't be too long before we can begin to bring back at least some of the classes to Hampton Court House, to the physical school. In the meantime, I cannot overemphasize, continue to follow the guidelines, wash your hands, keep your distance from other people, wear a face mask if you're out. If we can all do these things, we'll be in better times very soon. So, meanwhile, let's welcome in the year of the ox, The ox, of course, is a symbol of strength, but it's also a symbol of forward planning. For in traditional agriculture, it's the ox, of course, that pulls the plough, that sows the seed. And there's a symbol. You know, we've all worked hard. We've all been sowing the seeds of future success. So it won't be long now before we can sing together again, dance together, make live music again together. Remember that? Link arms again, and really just feel the purest joy and freedom. For our freedoms have temporarily been taken away. You know, none of us is allowed to travel at the moment, or to have a party or any. But perhaps we only truly appreciate things when they have been taken away. Anyway, not long to go now. To all our Chinese friends and to our Chinese teacher Feng, and a very happy New Year to you. Have a wonderful half term, everyone, and I'll see you again on Monday, the 22nd of February.